Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're breaking down the wild momentum shifts of what has to be one of the highest scoring and honestly most dramatic third place playoffs in World Cup history. I mean, what a match we have to dissect today. If you thought a third place playoff was just going to be some quiet, tactical affair where teams just kind of go through the motions, well, this game completely rewrote the script. We are looking at an absolute goal fest that kept fans literally on the edge of their seats from the very first whistle to the last. 10 goals. Yeah, you heard that right. An unbelievable 10 goals were scored in just 90 minutes of pure football madness. To put that into perspective, seeing 10 goals in any professional match is exceptionally rare, but to witness it on the global stage of a World Cup playoff, that's almost unheard of. It is a massive testament to the raw attacking power both of these nations brought to the pitch. They completely abandoned caution to give the millions watching around the world a truly unforgettable spectacle. All right, let's dive into part one, the pre-match heartbreak. So to really understand the chaos that unfolded out there, we have to get into the psychology of the players as they were walking out of that tunnel. Both teams entered this match completely heartbroken. France was still reeling from a really painful 2-0 semifinal loss to Spain, while England was trying to recover from a truly devastating 2-1 defeat to Argentina. Obviously, it wasn't the grand final either squad had dreamed of, but, and this is absolutely key here, with a bronze medal, national pride, and Kylian Mbappe's active chase for the Golden Boot on the line, there was still everything to play for. They weren't just playing for a placement, they were playing for redemption. Moving right along to part two, England's stunning 4-0 lead. The way this match started, nobody could have predicted the roller coaster we were about to ride. England exploded into life almost immediately with this unshakable confidence. Right in the opening minutes, Declan Rice fires them into the lead. France barely has time to blink before Ezri Konsa doubles that advantage after another incredibly dangerous move. The tactical dismantling happening on the pitch was just staggering. France, a world-class squad, looked entirely shocked and totally off their rhythm. And then Bukayo Saka takes over. He produces two brilliant first-half finishes, giving England a stunning 4-0 advantage going into halftime. Honestly, very few fans could even believe the scoreboard. England looked unstoppable, and France looked thoroughly defeated. But here's where things get wild. Part 3. Anatomy of the French comeback. This brings us to the real crux of our explainer. How in the world does a team nearly erase a 4-0 deficit at the highest level of the sport? Well, the reason France almost pulled off this impossible comeback really comes down to a fascinating psychological clash. France returned to the pitch with the dangerous freedom of a team that simply had nothing left to lose. They pressed higher, they threw tactical caution completely out the window, and they attacked relentlessly. This aggressive shift resulted in immediate quick-fire goals by Kylian Mbappé and Bradley Barcola. Suddenly, it's 4-2, and that sudden shock triggered total panic in the English squad. The tactical discipline and comfort of a 4-0 lead just vanished, replaced by hesitation and nervous mistakes, which allowed France to completely hijack the momentum. And the French front line just kept coming. When Mbappé scored again with a clinical finish to make it 4-3, the entire energy in the stadium shifted. This wasn't just a fun little consolation rally anymore. Everyone realized France genuinely believed they could complete one of the greatest World Cup comebacks ever. England looked entirely rattled at this point, really struggling to contain the sheer pace, the desperation, and the growing belief of their opponents. Which sets the stage perfectly for part 4, the final 10-goal thriller. So the crucial point here is how these desperate final minutes devolved into a frantic, nerve-wracking tug of war. With the score at 4-3, all tactical discipline went right out the window. It became a pure battle of willpower. Desperately needing a hero to stop the bleeding, England finally caught a break. They pushed forward and won a crucial penalty. Now, the pressure in this moment was just immense, but Bukayo Saka calmly stepped forward. He converts it, securing a magnificent hat-trick and giving England a tiny bit of breathing room at 5-3. You'd think that would be the end of it, right? Nope, not even close. France simply refused to surrender. Almost immediately, Ousmane Dembélé fired back with another goal to make it 5-4. Every single French attack looked incredibly dangerous at this point. The stadium was witnessing pure football madness, a game where defenses seemed entirely optional, and every single sprint forward felt like it could end up in the back of the net. With the clock ticking down, France had no choice. They pushed literally everyone forward in a desperate hunt for that equalizer, which naturally left huge spaces at the back. And that tactical trade-off is exactly what England needed. They launched one final, lightning-fast counterattack. Jude Bellingham receives the ball in space. And under all that intense pressure, he shows incredible composure, expertly dribbling right past the frantic French defenders. He calmly slots the ball into the net. Game over. The scoreboard finally settles at 6-4. England secures the bronze medal, delivering the perfect, breathtaking finish to a truly unforgettable contest. It was a match that literally had everything: early dominance, an unbelievable psychological shift, and a nail-biting conclusion. Let's wrap things up by looking at the standouts in Part 5, Star Performers. In a match with 10 goals, you know for sure there were some massive individual performances driving the narrative. Looking at the stats, 3 players completely stole the show today. Bukayo Saka stands out as the undeniable hero for England, carrying the team early and stepping up for that high-pressure penalty to secure his hat-trick. Then you have Kylian Mbappé, who scored 2 clinical goals to spark that terrifying French comeback, proving once again why he's considered one of football's greatest tournament players. And finally, Jude Bellingham, delivering the final dagger with an outstanding display of composure when his team needed it most to put the game to bed. Even in defeat, France's attacking football entertained millions, while England heads home with the bronze after an absolute World Cup classic. Which leaves us with one thrilling question to debate when we look back at that incredible second-half momentum shift. Had time not run out, and had England not found that final counterattack, could France actually have completed the miracle? It's a totally fascinating what-if for football history. Thanks for joining me to break down this thriller, and keep asking those big questions.